programs! Yes, I know the next movie is in October, but I do not care. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe Box Office Records, and we actually have some news today! Courtesy of Universal themselves. So they done goofed. Because on their website they spilled the beans that the next Mario movie is called Super Mario World, which of course was the debut game for Yoshi, which originally was on the Super Nintendo along with F-Zero. They are both Day 1 titles. On top of that, a slew of games from the Smash Bros. Franchises are getting Day 1 updates when Switch 2 is released on June 5th, which includes Super Mario 3D World Cross Bowser's Fury, Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, ARMS, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Never in a million years did I have in my bingo card that any of these games will be getting the Switch 2 treatment on Day 1 for free! Well, certainly Scarlet and Violet need it. Let's see if they can fix all the glitches in there. Now let's take a look at domestic. And a Minecraft movie has $416,640,000. And it is still not making as much as Mario. But it's still discouraging that Sonic has to be a third place franchise after its third movie. Well, thankfully it doesn't have diminishing returns. It has gotten more and lasted more than every single movie prior, but not by much. It only lasted another week. Oh well, let's take a look at international. And there is 509,156,158. At this point, it is inching towards 100 million more than domestic. It's very plausible. Though I find it quite interesting, we only got 9 million from 23 countries in total. Yeah, by the looks of things, Minecraft has fewer countries than Sonic 3 had. Sonic 3 opened in 43 countries. And by the looks of things, it is still dwindling. Guys, the name of the show is not Box Office Deficit. Leave the numbers alone or add to it. Thank you. I don't know what the numbers is doing right now. I'm referring to the website, by the way. And now let's take a look at a polarizing worldwide. And a Minecraft movie has 917,419,355. Sonic 3 was so close. So close to 490. It hurts. Well, I can still look forward to next month. The Switch 2 and maybe Switch 1 Direct that was meant to be for E3. It's been a bittersweet year, folks. The success you want, you're not getting. The success you're getting, you don't want. Yes, I know, I just paraphrased a DJ Qualls movie. Now it is time for another episode of Secret Level Episode 15. This time about Tank Command. I'll see you after that for upcoming TV shows and movies. So first we should address when the entries of Galactic Saga came out. We started with Galactic Empire back in 1979, followed by Galactic Trader, also in 1979, then Galactic Revolution in 1980, and then Tawala's Last Redoubt, the last entry, on June 1st, 1981. And I can't forget Tank Command, the only game made by the third Carlston brother, Don, and published by Adventure International. Though Tank Command never made it into an official Brøderbund catalog, and Don did not participate in Brøderbund's operations, as he was an associate professor at the University of Iowa. Don had originally created Tank Command for the Plato Education System, aka Programmed Logic for Automated Teaching Operations, and then later converted it for the Apple II. This was the original first title for the Apple II from Brøderbund. Everything else at the time was for the TRS-80. Yeah, what others call the Trash 80. Not very exciting. That came out in 1980. It's a one-player versus computer low-res strategy game based upon tank combat. This is the first thing you see when you boot up the game. The object of this game is to destroy enemy tanks and to accumulate the tank points scored by surviving tanks. Each tank has some range of enemy tanks that it can destroy. You choose which tank to fire with the game control, and the target is randomly selected from the fired tank's range. See enclosed sheet for more instructions. And apparently the cassette tape cost $10. Basically, you, the player, and the computer, of which you can name either, both control 6 tanks, which line up in opposing columns. The players take turns choosing a tank, and then the tank will fire randomly at one of the 3 closest adjacent tanks, removing them from the field of play. The player who has the last remaining tanks are rewarded bonus points. When a tank remains in play after a game, it is worth bonus points if it survives through the next round. The player and the computer take turns battling first, until one side has accumulated 100 points. It was said that Tank Command evidently lacked ambition and breadth, and I suppose the Carlston brothers quickly understood it was not in their interest to weaken their personal brand by showing it. So it was the black sheep of the Brøderbund legacy. On top of not being in an official Brøderbund catalog, it only made a brief appearance in the summer 1980 and the fall 1980 Adventure International catalog. For comparison, the Galactic Saga TRS-80 games were part of the Adventure International catalogs until late 1982. Well, that one was a shorty. But thankfully, we have an updated schedule today, as we change the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 to Super Mario World, coming out April 3rd of 2026 by Universal and Illumination. Well, that certainly makes my reading shorter. Followed by, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, coming out March 19th of 2027 by Paramount and Skydance. And then we have the Legend of Zelda movie, coming out March 26th of 2027 by Sony and Nintendo. Next we have upcoming shows, with Secret Level Season 2 hopefully debuting this December by Amazon Prime. Hopefully with Smash franchises in tow. Now we tackle the big question marks, namely the films in production with no release date. And those are Metal Gear Solid by Sony, Detective Pikachu 2 by Warner Brothers, Mega Man by Netflix, Pac-Man by Fox and Wayfarer Studios, and Street Fighter by Sony and Legendary. Last but not least, we have the shows in production with no release date. And those are the live-action Pokemon series featuring Red on Netflix, and the Minecraft animated series by Netflix, which I hope will get information later in the year. Frankly, I hope we get information on any new movie this year. And we are done. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe, and smash that bell in order to get notifications on the channel where everything grows on you.